Being judgmental is a complete waste of your energy. Obsessive, compulsive preoccupation with the behavior and conduct of others is of no benefit. Not to them, because they certainly don't hear you unless you're admonishing them, which again will not produce typically any positive results, but certainly as most judgment is carried out, it's carried out in private amongst a small circle of people when talking about someone else, or you're just being judgmental in your own mind about the lives of others and how they live their life. But again, this is wasteful energy, because nothing good comes of whining about the way others live their lives. Unless this is a solitary practice where you're not necessarily engaging in wanton judgmentalism with a small circle of people. It's being confined to the recesses of your own mindset, and you're using it as a template of what not to do, of how not to be. If you're assessing someone else's conduct as a contrast to how you want to live your life, because you see how damaging it is to the other person, then that assessment, that analysis is being used for a productive end, because you're looking at how someone is conducting themselves, how someone is behaving, how someone is acting, how someone is living their life, and you're looking at it as being a form of decadence or depravity, defilement or debasement or destructiveness that you don't want to participate in. And by using that individual as a template, it gives you good contrast for how you should be living your life. And so perhaps that's one form of judging that maybe leads to something positive in your own life, where you're actually judging against a yardstick, a measure of how you want to ensure you do not end up, where you do not fall victim to the pitfalls of others. It's an opportunity to learn, and it's a lesson, and it's a way of you engaging in some critical thought process, where rather than just thinking about, hey, here's how I want to conduct myself, you can take an audit or an assessment of how someone else is participating in a certain type of behavior and realize, hey, that's not something I want to emulate. But to participate in the type of judgmentalism that most people engage in, not only is it wasteful, it's destructive to your own character. It's akin to whining about how someone else is behaving or carrying on or living their life because it doesn't live up to your standard, a standard which you may not live up to either. But it is akin to gossip. It's akin to just being a gossip, such that you're kvetching, you're complaining, you're moaning about how someone is living their life. How is that bettering your own? It's participating in the lowest of common denominators of human emotion and human depravity, to pick apart someone else's life without pulling the plank out of your own eye. As Yahushua, Son of the Most High, Hamashiach, Yahuwah manifested in the flesh, said, first pull the plank out of your own eye before seeking to pull the plank out of your fellow man's eye. The last thing we should be doing is judging how someone else lives their life. Because who are we that could not be judged? Such that everything that someone else is participating in, you have a laundry list of character flaws and quirks and traits and negative behaviors that other people could pull apart. So if you catch yourself moaning and whining and complaining and kvetching about how someone lives their life, because that's what being judgmental is. That's what you're doing. And we all do it. We all do it. I'm no different. I'm no better. And when I say you, I mean me. I'm just holding up a mirror to myself. I'm just talking out loud. If any of this resonates with you, fantastic. If not, I'm just reaffirming in my own mind how I want to live my life. These little talks that I give every day just set me right. They set me straight. And hopefully in nurturing myself, I'm nurturing my fellow man. And in nurturing my fellow man, I'm nurturing myself. And above all else, hopefully by spreading the good news of Yahuwah Yahusha, I in some way am loving Yahuwah as best I possibly can in a manner that hopefully pleases him most. Although I know I am perfect, that I am evil, that I am sinful, that I have been and I always will be, although over the past eight and a half years of my journey with Yahuwah Yahusha, I learn more and more and I try more and more, and I really have come to a place of being in the zone and being in flow state with Yahuwah Yahusha and his ultimate commandment to love him with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love my fellow man as I love myself. And in so doing, hopefully in some small way, in giving these talks, again, in setting myself straight, putting myself on my path for the day, it's resonating with others. I'm spreading the good news because my cup overflows, and I'm rejoicing in that overflow that I have received, the goodness, the salvation, the love, the peace, the solace, the joy, the healing of Yahuwah, the everlasting life, and the being filled with the breath of Ruach, the set-apart spirit and the breath of Yahuwah that brings all things into existence. Hopefully in some small way I'm honoring him by doing so, but I am no better than anyone else. And although I have judged people mercilessly in my conversations and in my talks with others, and I have complained and moaned and whined and kvetched endlessly, over the past 8.5 years of my walk with Yahuwah Yahusha, I have become much more aligned with his ultimate commandment. Again, to love Yahuwah, the Most High, he who brings all things into existence, he who breathes life into all things, he who creates all things. And Yahuwah manifested in the flesh as Hamashiach, as the Messiah, the Savior of this world, the light, the life, the way, the truth, and the life, the Word, which in the beginning there was the Word was with Yahuwah, and the Word was Yahuwah, and the Word became flesh, and Yahusha, Son of the Most High, Yah, the Most High, Shah, salvation, meaning of the name, Yahusha, the Most High, who delivers salvation unto the world. In walking with him over these past 8.5 years, I've gotten a lot better, gotten a lot more into flow state, my connection, in my receipt of his signal, and in my conversations with him, in my prayers with him, my gratefulness, and my surrendering to Yahuwah Yahusha, and asking every day for him to guide me and show me how to live my life in a manner that pleases him most. I'm a lot better of a human being than I was 9 years ago, that's for sure. And every day on this journey, I improve in some small way. And this message that I give to you is a part of it, because not only am I getting an opportunity to spread the good news because my cup overflows with his love and his peace and his healing, but again, it's like holding up a mirror to myself, and I get to set myself straight and put myself on the right path for the day. So I'm just talking out loud here. And I truly understand the waste and the destructiveness of being judgmental, and how it is nothing more than wasted energy that brings nothing to anyone. It does no good for yourself or your people. unless, as I said, in your private moments, using it as a way to assess and to contrast the way you want to live your own life. If you can look at the behavior of someone else and where it's leading them on a path of destruction and devastation, and you can use that as a template for how you do not want to live your life, you could use that as a lesson to learn how you do not want to live your life, then you perhaps don't have to make the same mistake yourself. And so in that, being auditing how someone is living, assessing, analyzing how someone is living, and seeing the flaws and the foibles and the traps and the pitfalls of others will help you not make the same mistakes. In many cases it won't, because we're all bound to make our own mistakes in the same way before we learn the lesson. But the senseless moaning and whining and kvetching, which is nothing more than gossiping to others about how someone else is living their life, not up to your standards, and again, guaranteed, you're not living it up to their standards, you're not living it up to your own standards, and you're quite possibly even participating in the same behavior that they are, such that you're projecting on them and you're using them really as a form of self-hatred because you hate yourself, can't fix yourself, and so you're whining about how someone else is living their life. So other than doing that private time assessment of someone else's life as a template or as a contrast so you can learn a lesson on how not to live yours, the only other judgment that is worth participating in is in judging yourself. Auditing yourself, assessing yourself, analyzing yourself for the flaws that you would like to fix, but also judgment upon yourself without solutions is also destructive. To critique yourself without offering a path forward, a path to bettering yourself, is destructive, wasteful energy. So when you do judge yourself as a form of value, when you assess and audit and analyze yourself, before moving on to participating in some endless exercise of self-flagellation and self-hatred, use that judgment of yourself as a way to improve. Realize what it is about yourself that you're not happy with, and then take the time to form a plan, a strategy, a tactic to elevate yourself, to transcend who you currently are in an incremental fashion, small improvements every day, so that every single day you get closer and closer to being the person that you want to be, but will never be, because we'll never be perfect. But in just that small improvement, you get yourself closer to Yahuwah, especially when that improvement is guided by the principle, by the value, by the ultimate dictum, by the ultimate axiom, by the ultimate maxim, by the ultimate commandment from which all good things spring, to love Yahuwah with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your fellow man as you love yourself.